Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and welcome back to the Zach Lee Show, where we talk about everything that's going on in the NBA on a daily basis. As always, you guys are the real MVPs. We're coming back each and every single day. Seriously, can't thank you enough. But now, let's just get into everything that is going on in the NBA. But first, a quick word about this video sponsor, SeatGeek. I'm legit running out of things to say about this app at this point. I've said it all already. If you're still not woke to the powers of SeatGeek, then you need to wake up right now. It's the best ticket purchasing app hands down. Plenty of you guys have already used it. You know what's up. You get the best seats for the best prices, even better prices for your first time when you use the promo code SDC on your first order. Get $20 off. You get to see the view for the seats before you buy them. It has everything you could want out of a ticket purchasing app. Just get the app already, all right? Just a couple of quick clicks down in the description box below and you'll be set for life. Anyways though, let's just get right into this video now. Let's go.
He told you guys that you set the franchise record for wins.
So it's good. It's a good team accomplishment, during the regular season, but we got bigger goals than that. So just a step on to where we want to go.
The Rockets were without Chris Paul and Luke Mute, and the Pelicans were without Rondo and Mirotic. So both these teams operating at less than full strength, but it still wasn't close. The Rockets win again 114-91 over the Pelicans. And with this win, they have now set a franchise high for wins in a season with 59, something that the players and coaches on the Rockets said they couldn't care less about. Quote, "It's just another win. We have high expectations for one another." That is what Eric Gordon had to say about the Rockets record. "I just told them they didn't care. I'm kind of happy. I thought it was nice. They absolutely did not care." And that is what Mike D'Antoni had to say about the Houston Rockets record. And I can understand why the coach would be more happy about this than the players would. Wins and losses are like a coach's stats, so he should care more about this accomplishment. Overall though, I don't think anyone is impressed or surprised that the Rockets have been as good as they are. They won 59 games so far this season. With a record of 59-14, the most games they can win now is 68. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they won 68 games, if they won the rest of their games in the regular season. They've been that great. And even though 68-14 is a phenomenal record, what does it mean? The Houston Rockets are supposed to be a championship contender here. When you're a championship contender, you're placed on a different pedestal. You're expected to win a heck of a lot of games. It would be a disappointment if you didn't. And this isn't me saying what the Rockets are doing isn't a great accomplishment, because it is. Congratulations. But it's different for them than if it was a different team. For example, a team that wasn't expected to do anything this season. If it was like the Orlando Magic, the Sacramento Kings, just some random team coming out and winning close to 60 games on the season, then it would be like, dang, that team is good. But in this case, it's expected. We expect the Rockets to win a lot of games. Joel Embiid still has absolutely no chill. Whenever he plays one of the elite big men in the NBA and outplays them and the Sixers beat their team, he always has to let them know about it on social media after the game. And it appears the Philadelphia 76ers social media team is starting to learn from the Masters, starting to learn from Joel Embiid, as during the Sixers game against the Wolves yesterday, they tweeted out this Joel Embiid block is the talk of the towns with this video attached.
Third season, and in particular here tonight, I can't get enough of that. Look at the slow-mo, getting all ball.
Talk of the town. I see what you did there, but it doesn't stop there. After the game, you already know that Joel Embiid was going to have to take to Instagram and Twitter himself, and he did, as he posted an old picture of a game between the Wolves and the Sixers with a caption reading, "Euro stepping our way through Minnesota, and we ended up raising the cat last night." A clear shot at Karl Anthony Towns there with that whole cat reference, and Karl Anthony Towns knew it too, as he responded by saying that caption was as trash as your picture quality. Of course, Embiid had to get the last words in, and he completely obliterated Towns with his reply. At Karl Anthony Towns, better quality than your defense. And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Joel Embiid. He got the best of Towns on the court and off the court. On the court, he had 19.6 rebounds and 3 blocks in only 24 minutes, while Towns was 3 of 15 from the field for 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 turnovers, and 4 fouls in 23 minutes. Philly won this game easily, much easier than the final score indicated, 120-108. And I still have this Philly team as my wild card team in the Eastern Conference. If Embiid and Simmons can perform, can produce in the playoffs at the level they have in the regular season or even more, then that's a scary team. Those are problems that no other team in the East wants to deal with. There's no team they can go up against and it's like, oh, that's an automatic loss, they're eliminated. I don't see it happening. Moving on, Damian Lillard is set to be a father it seems. Honestly, I had no idea. But he and his girlfriend Kayla are expecting to have their first baby. Really? Any minute now. And that is why, even though Damian Lillard has a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, he will be ready to go at any moment, as he wants to be there for the birth of his child, obviously. With his pregnant girlfriend only experiencing small contractions, Damian Lillard says tonight he will have a private jet on standby in Oklahoma City, New Orleans, and Memphis in case she goes into labor. And their son was actually due back on March 19th. Hey, congratulations to you, Damian Lillard. And now you guys know that if Damian Lillard has to leave any one of the Portland Trail Blazers upcoming games unexpectedly, that there's nothing wrong. He's not injured. He's just going to be a father.
He's the same with us. You know, he's still loud and energetic. You know, that's just who he is. And, you know, I think it's definitely an energy we've missed. You know, sometimes I tell him he's a little too loud, but you know, that's just he's good. He's good. It's good to see him back. You know, I think the team was happy to see it, and you know, we all challenge each other, push each other today to be physical, be tough, and make it difficult for one another, and get better.
It seems like John Wall is about ready to return for the Washington Wizards. It's about time. When John Wall first went down, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Wizards weren't gonna make the playoffs. Like, well, their best player is out for 2 to 3 months. It's a wrap. But I was clearly wrong. The Wizards were able to hold on without John Wall, had a 14-10 record without him. So props to all those other guys for stepping up. But they had been running on fumes as of late, starting to drop more and more games. So John Wall coming back right now is probably the best thing that could happen to them as they get ready to enter the playoffs. John did everything. He did an entire practice, which was great. I thought he did a great job offensively and defensively. That's what Scott Brooks had to say about John Wall's recovery and the way he performed in practice. You know, so he is practicing full practices, which means he's getting ready to come back. I'd be surprised if he's not back within the next 2 to 3 games. As for what John Wall brings to this Washington Wizards team, a team that has proven that they're capable of winning games without him, Scott Brooks says he brings, quote, that edge. He gives us that edge. When you have him on the floor, you get a lot of easy shots. John creates a lot of attention when he drives to the basket. I think his teammates have always appreciated it, but when you don't have him around, you definitely miss it. Like I said earlier, the Wizards have a 14-10 record without John Wall. I believe they had a 4 to 5 game winning streak when John Wall went down, which gave people the impression that maybe the Washington Wizards are better without John Wall. That John Wall's an overrated player that doesn't bring anything to the team, but since then, they have been hovering around the 500 mark, going like 9-10 or 10-10 in their last 20 games, which isn't bad for a team that's missing its best player, but it does put to rest any argument that the Wizards are actually better without John Wall. They're not. Speaking of injuries though, we have a couple more updates here. The first one is actually a pretty new one, as Isaiah Thomas is still experiencing some hip pain. Isaiah Thomas is out for the final 2 games of this road trip with a sore hip. So his hip is still bothering him. This isn't good, unless of course you're a Lakers fan that doesn't like seeing Isaiah Thomas play for you guys, in which case you might be happy that he's not playing the next 2 games. But overall, this is not good. For him to still be experiencing some hip soreness, you guys know that that's what kept him out for a large portion of the season. This is something that teams who are going to be interested in signing Isaiah Thomas this summer are going to be extremely cautious about. The fact that he's still having these hip pains gonna reduce the number of teams that will want to bring him on. And at this point, I think the only deal Isaiah Thomas is going to get is a 2-year deal, with the second year of that deal being a team option. And don't expect for him to get max dollar or anything close to max dollar. I'd be surprised if he got more than $12 million a season, which is still a heck of a lot of money, by the way. No team is going to give Isaiah Thomas a long-term contract when they don't know what they're going to get. So next season for Isaiah Thomas is going to make or break his NBA career. The next injury update we have though is on Kyrie Irving, as he had a successful surgery to remove a wire that he had in his knee since 2015. The wire was originally placed as a part of the surgical repair on a fractured patella sustained during the 2015 NBA Finals. While removal of the wire should relieve irritation it was causing in Irving's patella tendon, the fractured patella is fully healed and Irving's knee has been found to be completely structurally sound, which is amazing news, right? Or it kind of, because the bad part is he's out for the next 3 to 6 weeks. 3 to 6 weeks, which I don't know what to make of that right here, because 3 weeks would be great, while on the other hand, 6 weeks would be devastating. The playoffs are set to start in about 3 weeks, so if he's on that end of the spectrum, he'll come back within the Boston Celtics' first 1 to 2 games of their first round series, which will be perfect timing. But if it's 6 weeks, we might not get to see Kyrie Irving play again this season, because the first round will be over, and who knows if Boston would survive the first round without Kyrie Irving. Boston is still a good team. They're still able to win games without Kyrie because of how well coached they are, but in the playoffs, I would not feel comfortable putting my money on a Kyrie Irving-less Boston Celtics, let alone they still won't have Gordon Hayward, of course, and Marcus Smart either. So if I'm a Celtics fan, I'm really hoping that he comes back closer to that 3 weeks than the 6 weeks. Moving on to yet another injury update, and this one is on Kristaps Porzingis. We haven't had one of him since he went down with a torn ACL.
Shots credit the Milwaukee defense. Inside Porzingis! But he goes down hard, and he's hurt.
And this is one of the scarier injuries that we have seen this year, because an ACL injury is, of course, nothing to be played with. Some players never come back the same after tearing their ACL. However, for younger players, guys like Porzingis, the odds of full recovery are much greater, so I'm not too worried about him falling off or not being the same player when he comes back. Matter of fact, according to one of the strength and conditioning doctors that's working with Porzingis on making his way back to the court, we can expect Porzingis to come back next year better than ever. Despite the talk, the sky is falling, he'll never be the same. That is a bunch of horse crap. He'll be better than ever. He's going to blow people away. If you're around people who know what they're doing, it's not the end of the world. It's the end of the world if you have the wrong people around you. Basically, he said that since he's working with Porzingis, he's the right person to have around you, that he's going to be fine. Whereas if he had someone else, he'd be screwed. We'll have to wait and see about that. But the interesting thing about all of this is this guy isn't even working on Kristaps Porzingis' knee. He's not conditioning that ACL. According to the articles, his job is to strengthen Porzingis' frame. And a stronger frame is for sure what Kristaps Porzingis needs. He doesn't need to be bulky or have a ton of muscles or anything like that, because one of his strengths on the court is being able to take bigger guys off the dribble. His agility, his quickness for someone his size. If he gets big and bulky, he'll lose a lot of that. But a stronger frame will help him on the defensive end, so he won't be bullied in the paint as much, and it will also help his post game to be able to back guys down easier. So I'm looking forward to see if this actually happens, if he does come back next season with a stronger frame. And the last injury update is about Stephen Curry, who we just talked about yesterday. He had his MRIs done yesterday, and well, they confirmed what we pretty much already knew, that he does have an MCL sprain. Warriors guard Stephen Curry went an MRI on his left knee today, the results of which revealed a grade 2 MCL sprain. Curry suffered this injury during the third quarter of last night's 106-94 victory over Atlanta. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. So this is actually pretty good news, that he could possibly be coming back right in time for the playoffs, similar to Kyrie Irving, 3 weeks. Then again, that is if he is cleared to play after he's reevaluated. They're only going to reevaluate him in 3 weeks. They didn't say he'll be back for sure in 3 weeks. So of course, the worst case scenario is after the 3 weeks are up, that he's still not ready to come back and the Warriors have to go into the playoffs without Stephen Curry, in which case it'll be a huge test for Kevin Durant, because you're still gonna have Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. You should still be able to get out of the first round until Stephen Curry comes back, because Kevin Durant, if you get eliminated with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green on your team in the first round, it will not be a good look for you. Well, despite Lonzo's outside shots still not falling, the Lakers were still able to beat the Grizzlies 100-93. Lonzo with 12 points on 5 of 13 shooting, only 1 of 6 from deep, but he also had 10 assists and 8 rebounds. Like I said in the other video, it's easy to forgive Lonzo Ball as long as he's doing other things well. If his shot's not falling, as long as he's getting rebounds, getting assists, playing defense, easy to overlook that for now. But next season, if he's going to continue to shoot as many shots as he's shooting, especially from deep right now, then he's going to have a much more consistent jumper. End of story. So that's it for Lonzo. Kyle Kuzma, on the other hand, can shoot as much as he wants. He had 25 points and 10 rebounds on the night, while Julius Randle continues to play well too with 20 points and 11 rebounds. I just want to know though, when Brandon Ingram was coming back, he was having a really nice second season. As a Pistons fan, I am extremely optimistic about the season they can have next season if they can freaking stay healthy. I'm looking at you, Reggie Jackson. If you can stay healthy for one season, just one season, please. The trio of Blake, Andre, and Reggie really has some potential. As with Blake Griffin on the team, Reggie Jackson can be more of a scoring guard than he is, instead of having to try and worry about setting up his teammates, which he hasn't been the best at in his time in Detroit, which I don't think has caused him to play at his full potential. He's still in a minutes restriction though after missing half the season, scored 15 points in about 20 minutes of action. Another guy I'm excited about in Detroit though is Luke Kennard. If you've been here, if you've been watching all season long, then you have heard me say this name a few times, and some of you think I'm joking when I say he's going to be a great player, but I'm not. I am dead serious. And it seems like the Pistons are finally figuring out that he's going to be great too, as they started to put the ball in his hands more, and it's been working. He's been playing much better. He had 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting, as well as 6 assists off the bench yesterday. And like I said, he's been playing really great in Detroit's last 5 or 6 games. Pistons beat Chicago 117-95. That's crazy, bro. The Charlotte Hornets have beat their last 2 opponents by an average of 32.5 points. They beat the Grizzlies by 61, and now they beat the Mavericks by 4. Combine those numbers together and you have 65. Divide that by 2, 32.5 points. Insane point per game differential right there. Seriously though. Dwight Howard, could he be a candidate for most improved player? Like, does it work like that? Because he has improved compared to his last few years in the NBA. He had another good game with 18 points and 22 rebounds. It just sucks imagining how great he could have been had he not fallen off for a bit there. We really never got to see prime Dwight Howard. He was still supposed to be getting better when he just fell off. And now let's get into the G League game of the day, featuring the Phoenix Suns and the Orlando Magic. I wonder if anyone was actually watching this game. I mean, I guess it was Elfrid Payton's first game against a team that traded him for a bag of corn chips, and Elfrid Payton, since his first couple of games with the Suns, has been playing like a bag of corn chips, an expired bag of corn chips. But of course, he had to try and play better last night, and he did kinda, you know, he was better. Maybe he upgraded to a family-sized bag of corn chips, but he still wasn't great. 14 points on 6 of 15 shooting to go along with 8 assists as the Magic get the 105-99 win. Aaron Gordon with 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. That actually wraps up all the action from yesterday, though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA videos. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was LaMarcus Aldridge, and his career high 45 points to go along with 9 rebounds. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here. Peace!